There exists a significant threat to the existing rural community from the development of the proposed Quarry Bluff RV Village project in Sevastopol Township, Door County, Wisconsin. In Door County, we have access to dozens of scientific and community documents that give us important guidance towards sustainable stewardship of the county's lands. The community had taken the advice from these many critical documents. With an increasing understanding of sustainable land use practices and how communities can preserve their distinctive signatures, people want to enrich their communities and the good quality of life within them. Community disapproval is nearly unanimous. The town of Sevastopol and Door County have listened, and following the guidance of their community plans and listening to the voices of the people, have voted a resounding no, thereby not approving the project's request for a conditional use permit. These decisions are again being challenged by the proposed project's developers. The proposed Quarry Bluff RV Village project is located on the shores of Green Bay in the Latham Smith Quarry, which was closed in 1944. This proposed project will negatively impact the local community and environments. Along the Green Bay shore and portions of the Sturgeon Bay Channel are important habitats within an informal green corridor. This view from Potawatomi State Park towards the quarry to the north shows the environmental setting of the area. The quarry and proposed project are also on the highly sensitive Niagara Escarpment ecosystem. The cliff trace is shown as an orange line. The green corridor and escarpment are the migratory flyaway for birds. The area is also one of groundwater recharge for the local residents and greater community. It is home to a rural community that is nestled in the forest and shoreline environment. The very character of the community will be impacted by the proposed Quarry Bluff RV Village project. Of great concern is the size of this proposed development in the karst environment, and this poses a threat to the area's groundwater resources. Karst is recognized by the presence of sinkholes, open fractures, and caves, of which there are many as shown here. The rock is highly fractured with dominantly northeast and northwest trending fractures that intersect horizontal bedding planes in the dolomite bedrock. Throughout the area are large-scale groupings of fractures, as shown here as red lines. All of these occur in the Niagara Escarpment zone of influence, the extensive habitats associated on and adjacent to the cliff trace, and extending outward for more than a mile from the cliff face itself. Putting all of this data together shows us the complexity of the karst environment, its association with the sensitive Niagara Escarpment zone, and the importance of sustainable land use planning. This has been recognized by Sevastopol Township and Door County through the establishment of natural areas and a county and state park. In short, this sensitive area is a bad location for the proposed Quarry Bluff RV Village project. This project would be potentially larger than 5 Door County villages, such as Ephraim, Bailey's Harbor, Egg Harbor, Ellison Bay, and Little Sturgeon. We know the risks of overdevelopment from lessons learned from Sturgeon Bay. The municipal water wells in Sturgeon Bay, like all wells in Door County, are impacted by the nature of karst environments and human surface activity. In this map, we can see the same fractures we saw in the Niagara Escarpment zone at the quarry. Sturgeon Bay's municipal water wells are impacted by these open fractures. We also see the high number of sinkholes, shown as purple dots, that occur throughout the area. Through scientific studies with the U.S. Geological Survey and Door County's Soil and Water Conservation Department, we know the Sturgeon Bay municipal water wells are fed by groundwater recharge in zones of contribution along the fractures and sinkholes. Surface water impact zones also affect groundwater quality. Putting all of this data together, we clearly see that the geology and hydrology are the same for Sturgeon Bay and the proposed Quarry Bluff RV Village project. We also know that because of this karst environment and human surface activity, most of Sturgeon Bay's municipal wells have been contaminated. There are 8 Sturgeon Bay municipal wells. 3 have been shut down due to contamination. 3 are being regularly treated further because of contamination, and 2 are operating normally. Contamination sources are varied but include mines, pits, and quarries, as well as underground storage tanks and pipelines, all of the features we see at the proposed Quarry Bluff RV Village project. Let's take a closer look at the Latham Smith Quarry environment. In detail, we see the same large-scale fractures. These are individual and clusters of open fractures. If we zoom in, we see these on an even smaller scale, demonstrating the fractures occur at all scales and throughout the karst environment. We also see sinkholes, small and large, shown as yellow dots on this map. Several occur within the quarry property. All of these karst features are clearly visible in the quarry. Note the red arrows pointing out vertical open fractures. These intersect horizontal bedding. Note the caves present in the quarry walls. Very importantly, note that there is habitat recovery occurring in the quarry itself. In this close-up, we can see the fractures on the quarry floor and their extensions in the quarry face, all shown as red lines. We also see incipient sinkhole development exposed in the quarry walls. A close-up illustrates the existence of a sinkhole developed along vertical fractures in the quarry wall. All of these features are direct conduits to the groundwater from surface activity and points of potential groundwater and drinking water contamination. Cross-sections of the quarry and surrounding area are informative as to the risks to the groundwater quality. Section CB across the quarry shows the fluctuating water tables as blue horizontal lines and existing residential wells. The red dots are the depth of the well pumps. The proposed Quarry Bluff RV Village project wells would exceed those depths and have the potential for groundwater drawdown below existing wells. This is called a cone of depression and is schematically illustrated here. To date, no groundwater modeling for this project exists. The proposed project wells have the potential to negatively impact existing residential wells. We see the same scenario to the east of the quarry and to the north of the quarry. Concerns also exist regarding the proposed waste holding tank. Illustrated here are the dimensions of the proposed waste holding tank, the elevations of the top and bottom, and the depth of cover over the tank. Older meteorological records indicate a 100-year flood would rise 2.5 feet above the bottom of the tank, and a high water table would bring water levels another 6.5 feet higher. This indicates 77% of the tank could be underwater. The developers have stated the force down from the weight of the tank and the buoyancy, the tank floating, have only a 28,950 pound difference. This might seem like a lot, but that's only an 8.5% margin of error for tank stability. If it floats and cracks because this margin of error is exceeded, then the project will experience tank failure. In the developer's proposal, they have not considered extreme weather events. Recent meteorological data has demonstrated we are in an era of more intense storms and greater frequency of storms. Some of these are listed here, with rainfalls exceeding 5 inches in short periods of time. And up to 7 inches in some areas. As an example, Horseshoe Bay Cave, north of the area, has outflows following recent intense storms that far exceed anything anticipated by the proposed Quarry Bluff RV Village project. Recent storms have flooded many Door County communities, and these flood levels have not been adequately considered in the stormwater management plan for the proposed project. Significant runoff from the quarry itself, seen here during a 2019 storm, is a result of increased storm intensity. Recent meteorological data indicate that historical 100-year storms are now occurring every 17 to 25 years and increasing in frequency and severity. In 1944, over 75 years ago, the Latham and Smith Quarry was closed. The proposed Quarry Bluff RV Village project, if it proceeds, will reopen this mine. They plan to mine over 135,000 cubic yards of rock from the old quarry site. This is equivalent to up to 9,000 dump truck loads of rock. The proposed project will excavate additional stockpiled soil and rock that exists on the old quarry site. The proposed project will also crush and sort the mined and stockpiled rock. Wisconsin Code NR 135 addresses the issues of mining. The code states that an operator of a mine means any person who is engaged in or who has applied for a permit to engage in non-metallic mining, whether individually, jointly, or through subsidiaries, agents, employees, contractors, or subcontractors. This language covers all involved in the proposed project. The code states that non-metallic mining means operations or activities at a non-metallic mine site for the extraction from the earth of mineral aggregates or non-metallic minerals for sale or use by the operator. Again, this language specifically describes the actions of the proposed project developers. In terms of physical activities, the code states that they include drilling and blasting, excavation, grading and dredging, crushing, screening, scalping, and dewatering. Again, all of these activities, which are clearly part of a mining operation, will be conducted if the proposed Quarry Bluff RV Village project is approved. The code also addresses non-metallic mine reclamation, which means the rehabilitation of a non-metallic mining site to achieve a land use specified in an approved non-metallic mining reclamation plan. The project proposal does not include a non-metallic mining reclamation plan. By the above Wisconsin Code, it is clear that the proposed project involves mining activities. This is a noisy, dusty, disruptive process. Currently, there is a comfortable level of ambient noise in this rural residential community, shown in light blue. Later occupation activity will increase ambient noise levels, shown in light yellow, likely far above those experienced today. Noise from the quarrying activities, the mining, shown in dark yellow, will create noise levels that fall into cautionary and critical levels for human impact. This view from one of the existing residents' deck will experience close personal contact with the mining and subsequent operation of the proposed Quarry Bluff RV Village project. Existing homeowners will be financially impacted, as shown in this graph that illustrates loss of property values in close proximity to developed parks, such as this proposed project. The development of the proposed project will negatively impact the quality of life existing for these residents. A critical aspect of sustainable land stewardship and the need to deny approval of the proposed Quarry Bluff RV Village project is the recognition of habitat recovery. Recall that the quarry location is on the Niagara Escarpment. This feature extends for over 1,000 miles over the top of two Great Lakes. The Niagara Escarpment is a Door County treasure and is one of the most frequently visited features in the state. Door County has stated that there is considerable interest in protecting additional areas to meet conservation and recreational needs. The Latham Smith Quarry has been closed since 1944. Habitat recovery over 75 years is important and must not be damaged by a new proposed project. For example, shown here along the eastern portion of the Latham Smith Quarry is a recovered algific zone at the base of the cliff and a recovered forest. In this environment are springs and seeps, as well as recovering cliff habitats. An air photograph shows the location of seeps and the forest recovery area relative to the rural residential homes. Habitat repair on the Niagara Escarpment has been occurring over these 76 years, and the proposed Quarry Bluff RV Village would destroy that slow and important progress. In summary, there are numerous aspects that should halt the progress of this proposed Quarry Bluff RV Village. These include negative impact to property values. There are no other such projects in the region. The project conflicts with the Door County Comprehensive and Farmland Preservation Plan. There are holding tank inadequacies and risks. Increased storm intensities from new meteorological data is largely ignored. Karst geology is largely ignored. Because of this, there is a real threat to potable water. Residents will experience damaging mining and operations noise. Developers have not obtained a mine reclamation permit. There are impacts to the Niagara Escarpment environment. No botanical or threatened and endangered species surveys have been conducted. No invasive species plan has been proposed. Water management poses a threat to surface water quality, and the project has proposed an inadequate stormwater plan. The project clashes with visual harmony of the area. The project will change the natural character of the area, and the proposed project destroys naturally restored habitats. There are public health and safety concerns. It is recommended that the request for a conditional use permit be denied.